Salve discipuli, ego sum magistra buddy, and this is the stage 34 lesson on passive infinitives, future passives, and deponents. Here we have our active infinitives, all four conjugations, along with some examples. And here we have our passive infinitives. So if portare is to carry, portari is to be carried. Notice they do follow similar patterns. So ara becomes ari, era becomes ari. Era is a little weird because it becomes just e. It dropped the e in the r. Era is iri. So carrera volo, I want to run. Servi laborare non possunt, the slaves are not able to work. But passive infinitives, you're going to translate them a little differently. So I want the letter to be read out. Paris, conspici noluit, Paris does not want to be seen. All right, copy down these four sentences. Go ahead and mark them accordingly and write out translations, and then we'll compare notes. All right, let's look at number one, volo januam aperiri. We've got no nominative, but we can look at our verb ending and know that the subject is I. So this is our verb, direct object, passive infinitive. I want the door to be opened. Neque vitellia, neque ancula videri poterant. We've got a neque, double connector. We've got a nominative, another nominative, passive infinitive, and a verb. So even though both of these are singular together, they make a plural, so plural verb. Neither Vitellia nor the slave girl were able to be seen. For capi nolabat, we've got a subject, our nominative, we've got a passive infinitive, and we've got a verb. So the thief did not want to be captured. Dux usip captivum liberari. We've got a nominative, a main verb, a direct object, and a passive infinitive. The leader orders the captive to be freed. Sorry, that was ordered. Okay, our deponent infinitives, they look passive, but we translate them actively. So go ahead and copy down these four sentences, mark them accordingly, and then write out your translations, and then we'll compare notes. All right, libertis usit milites pantomimum sequi. We've got a nominative, excuse me, we've got a verb, we've got a direct object, we've got another direct object, and we have a deponent infinitive. So the freedman ordered the soldiers to follow the pantomime. Aigroti deam precari volabant. We've got a plural nominative going with our plural verb. We've got a direct object, and we've got a deponent infinitive. So it looks passive, but we're going to translate it active. The invalids were wanting to pray to the goddess. Nuntius tandem proficisci constituit. We've got a nominative for our subject, we've got an adverb, we've got a deponent infinitive, and a main verb. The messenger finally decided to depart. So this was passive, but I translated actively. Pueri tam perteriti erant ut loqui non possent. I bracketed our ut clause because it's a dependent clause. Pueri is our nominative plural subject. Perteriti is a subject complement. We've got a linking verb here. Tom's just an intensifier. You don't need to mark it unless you want to. We've got our deponent infinitive. Possent is a verb. So the boys were so terrified that they were not able to speak. Okay, future passives. Back to, not deponents, but actives. So future passives for the first and second conjugations also do something a little bit differently from the third and fourth conjugations, just like in our future actives. Okay, so here's our future endings for the first and second conjugation. Here's our passive endings. You put the two together and you can see how we get the future passive for the first and second conjugations. Bo and or become bore. Bis, ris become beris. Then we've got bitor, bimor, bimini, and buntor. For example, porta bor is I will be carried. Porta bimini, you all will be carried. Doke bimor, we will be taught. Doke buntor, they will be taught. And then the third and fourth conjugations also similarly form a combination of the two. So and or become are. Then we've got aris, ator, amor, amini, and entor. So trahar is I will be dragged. Trahemini, you all will be dragged. Audieris, you will be heard. Audientor, they will be heard. All right, copy down these sentences, mark them accordingly, write out a translation, and then we'll compare notes. All right, in Gaines Primium Victori dabitur, omnes vilae dele buntur. In Gaines an adjective modifying Primium, omnes is an adjective modifying vilae. We've got Primium as our subject. This is neuter, that's why it looks like and it's still the subject. Victori, that's dative, it's our indirect object. We've got a passive verb, we've got a plural subject, and a plural passive. So the huge prize will be given to the victor. All the houses will be burned. Nisi effugeremus capiemur in carcerem iacieris. So we've got a prep phrase here. I put that in parentheses. We've got a dependent clause here. I bracketed that to set it aside. Effugeremus is our verb. We tell from the mus here that the subject is we. There's no nominative. Capiemur is a passive verb. So just as a reminder, I put a P here. Again, no nominative, but we know from the more that the subject is we. Iacieris, same thing, passive verb, no nominative, but we know that the subject is you. So unless we flee, we will be captured. You will be thrown in prison. All right, our future deponents, they follow the same pattern as the future passives. The only difference is we're going to translate them actively, of course. So here's an example of the first or second declension, conjugation verb. Here's an example of the third and fourth conjugation verb. So conabor, I will try. Conabimini, you all will try. Loquemur, we will speak. Loquentur, they will speak. Copy down these sentences, mark them accordingly, and write out a translation, and then let's compare notes. All right, milites cross proficescentur, dux hostium nihil suspiciabitur. All right, hostium is underlined because it's a genitive. This eum here is third declension genitive plural. It is going with dux. Milites is our subject. We've got an adverb here meaning tomorrow, which is a big indicator that we're looking at a perfect. It's a deponent, so it looks passive, but we're going to translate it actively. Our subject, this is a direct object, and we've got another deponent. So the soldiers will depart tomorrow. The enemy's leader, or the leader of the enemies, either way's fine. So the enemy's leader will suspect nothing. Si hoc venenum consumseris morieris. I bracketed this because it is a dependent clause. Hoc is underlined because it's a modifier. It's going with venenum. So if, venenum's our direct object. Consumseris is our verb, and we know that eris is our subject. Use our subject because of the eris, morieris. Also no nominative, but we can tell from the ending that the subject is you. So if you shall drink this poison, you will die. All right, discipuli, remember, English relies on word order to indicate function. Latin relies on endings to indicate function. Make sure you know your endings or else you will not be able to decode the words. Vale to discipuli.